And welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
And we are on episode 179. We are coming close to 200 episodes. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. We gotta celebrate once we get to 200.
200th episode.
Gotta do something.
Yep. We gotta plan that out. Figure out when it is. Roughly. Type thing. So guys, welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about hobby spaces, game spaces, dream type hobby spaces and game spaces also. But we'll be talking about a bunch of that stuff. Before we do that, let's go and get to business. We want to thank Tectonic Craft Studios for hosting us and providing things for us to give away when we can get them and get it to you. I don't think I have anything recently. Dan has been very, very busy lately. Talked to him last week. Very busy making new stuff and getting things done. Then I also, let's see. We are a creature creator. Kathy, have you started doing your Suzerain of Desire yet?
More like started continuing.
Yeah, like continuing. Yeah, but no. I'm still working on this commission. And once that's out of the way, then we will do our triumphant return to the Suzerain of Desire. Otherwise known as the Twins. From Creature Caster.
We also want to thank Muse on Minis. Muse on Minis is hosting our streams and our files, so people can get them a lot easier than normal. So we want to thank that. Also, if you go to Muse on Minis and you want to buy something from there, make sure you use the code MORETHANDICE, all one word, and you get 10% off your order. And we also want to thank our lovely and amazing friend Lynn Stahl. Lynn is not only on Twitch streaming, she's also got her own place where she sells miniatures, models, and other things, where she also sells our dice and widgets and things that we also have out there. We also have a bunch of things coming down the line. By the way, we have 2 other podcasts that are we host their files. If you like good Warcaster and War Machine and Hordes information, make sure you check out the Minority Report. And we also, if you like strictly Warcaster stuff, you can check out Through the Void Gate. They discuss all things Warcaster. Really great bunch of people. You can find them on Facebook and also listen to them through here. You can also listen to all of our RPGs. If you heard in the pre-ramble, one of my RPGs is on hiatus, so a new one will be picking up, and then we will have all of those episodes out also. One that I run and one I'll get to play in, type thing. So I'm really excited. I hardly ever get to play, so when I get to, I'm like super stoked to play. I've got this, of course, super elaborate, background that's like 85 pages long and so on and so forth.
I shake my head for about a moment, and then I think about the one of the characters that I've been playing, and she also has a long backstory.
Yeah.
I'd say if your backstory is longer than the elevator pitch, wow. Just saying, wow.
We will not be, by the way, we will not be streaming. We don't stream any of the RPGs. We just record them and then put out the video and audio for everybody to see. And you can find all the videos, of course, on our YouTube channel, too. Both RPGs, and you can also find John's Mech Warrior and Kathy's painting on there if you miss it and can't find it on Twitch, because we started to back it up there, because eventually Twitch does get rid of our videos.
It does.
So that's just a good way for us to keep track of it and hold it for later use type thing. So, John, what you drinking today?
Well, I am finishing up the rum. I've got a rum and Coke, but the Coke is cherry Coke.
Okay, I could deal with that.
Had a 2-liter started, need to finish it.
Yep. Don't want that stuff to get flat.
It's a good excuse.
Kathy, what you got?
I have wine. Again.
Oh,
Just
wine
that
again.
same White Zinfandel.
White Zinfandel.
Wait, I hope that Battle of Wine lasted a week?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm just checking and making sure,
That bottle got opened, and another bottle got opened.
I just making sure.
I'm still working on my Scotch, Macallan 18, which I really, really like. One of my favorite Scotches. So I will be drinking that. Do we have any tributes this week?
Not that I remember.
There was a comedian that did pass away, and I totally forgot to write it down.
Yeah, I remember now. It's the guy who starred in Caddyshack 2.
Yes. Oh, show me.
Just look up the cast of Caddyshack 2.
I'm trying to figure out. Jackie Mason. Gotcha.
Jackie Mason, yes.
Jackie Mason passed away, which was very, very. I mean, he was 93, so it wasn't like anything.
Yeah, it's not like he was young or anything.
No,
but yes.
But being 93, and he did a lot of stand-up stuff and everything on the also. So I mean, he was pretty. I mean, but being 93, that's a long life.
Mm-hmm.
Type thing. I don't think of anybody else that passed away recently that I know of.
Not that I recall coming across my feed.
Nope. We also want to make sure, please, guys out there, please protect yourself. Go get vaccinated. Make sure that you're still wearing your mask. Make sure that you're looking after each other. Make sure that you're just being nice. Make sure that you check on your buddies and your friends every so often if you don't hear from them.
Check on your total strangers. If you follow someone on Twitter and they're feeling a little down, say something nice to pick me up, offer to talk with them. We'll get through all of this. We only get through this together.
Yeah. Just check on them. And it's just a simple check, too. Not always have to be this huge thing. Like, hey, how you going? How you doing okay? Cool. What you doing? I'm playing video games. Cool. So am I. Which I did play and try out a new video game. So I'll be talking about that in media section, too. So, to all of y'all, please take care of yourself. Cheers.
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 That Appleton's a bit funky.
Man, this is actually really good. I did do some painting. I'm working on Thor's hammer.
Meow meow.
Aww.
So,
very shiny.
yeah, it's the metallic Rust-Oleum.
Nice.
So I decided I wasn't gonna try to get it all the seams out and everything. I was just like, oh, let's give it a quick rough.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with the handle?
It's gonna get painted brown in between the little ridges. I want to seal the chrome up first before I paint it.
Mm-hmm.
Paint the brown because the chrome it rubs off really easy no matter what, just from the oil.
Oh,
in my
okay.
hands.
Yes.
Yeah. All my crown my Loki crown, that gold comes off really easy.
Really?
Yeah. Or the metallic paints come off. No matter what I've done, prime it.
I actually know a young lady who used to just quickly seal every model between every layer. Like she got a layer done, just quick seal, let it sit, and then come back when she was painting.
Yeah. I need to buy. I'm gonna get a not a dull coat, but a shiny coat sealant on it, and then paint the brown, and then do a little bit of no oil wash in between, here, and the little handle parts, just to make that little the design stand out some.
Let me suggest using the instead of the Nuln Oil, use the fucking contrast black.
Yeah, something like that. I was going to, just something to make it all stand out because it needs to have some type of texture look to it. But this is actually going to go, once it's done, it's going to go to our TO that's running our MCP at Warfare Weekend. He's going to be carrying this around as his, type thing,
That's
just for
cool.
showing.
But you could always get fancy and just leather wrap that handle.
No.
Yeah.
At that point, I would like a full replica. At that point, leather wrapped handle made out of probably aluminum or whatever, something, but not plastic at the top, just in case you got to whack someone in the fucking face. I mean, sometimes
But then
you got to.
I got to do some more. All my Loki crowns are done. I have no requests for any more props. So I am actually going to start working and thinking about my own.
I believe you got 2 requests today.
Oh yeah, but I gotta find that. I don't even know if that is anywhere out there.
If there's not a 3D file for the glaive, there's some bullshit going on.
Which it would be really cool. Which I would have to see if they are. But I'm probably gonna work on some cosplay stuff for myself. There's been a suit of cosplay stuff I'd wanted to do forever,
That's
and
cool.
so I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait to see if I can get it all done.
Which thing? What thing?
Well, I'm kind of tied between a few cosplay ideas. Um, since I can now full print, large things with resin, one of the things I want to do is Obi-Wan Kenobi's armor in Clone Wars. The Jedi armor he does, which is very
Okay.
simple, can be done, and there is a file for that out there, and it's not a hard thing to figure out. Also, another one I thought of was I don't know if you know in the Batman Ghostmaker. It is a I like the costume, and the helmet just came out by Nico Industries, so I was going to look into that to see if it could be made or not. And Nico Industries is about to send another file out with a bunch of new stuff, and that may change what I want. But an easy one I can do, because I can definitely do Obi-Wan saber, and I can get I've got the beard, just got to dye it brownish red, and do the Jedi armor from the Clone Wars. Because that
That's
one's
cool.
not hard. That one's not hard at all to do as a cosplay type thing. So they're just some ideas. I got to plan it because it's going to be a large print type thing. So other than that, I was gonna. You know what? The one cosplay I know I can pull off without any problem is Peter B. Parker with the big pudgy belly and the Spider-Man top and scruffy look and gray sweatpants and mixed match shoes. I could pull that off in like no time whatsoever. So
I'm still thinking of buying the Detroit Tigers hat and getting the Hawaiian shirt for a Magnum PI cosplay.
Ooh. Are you gonna get those tan short shorts too?
No, I'll just wear jeans.
oh.
They're standard.
But no, I'm gonna be kind of working on a cosplay idea of what I want to do. I mean, I like the Obi-Wan Clone Trooper armor because it's not a lot, but it's also got some good fabrics to it, and it's not super super hard to do type thing. And it'd be really neat, and it looks cool. And his saber's easy to print. There are tons of them out there, type thing that I could print off. So
Who's the main dude from God of War?
Kratos.
Yeah, Marshall can pretty much can do Kratos, yes.
So can we shave his head? Now, which Kratos? The young Kratos or Kratos the father?
Marshall already pre-shaves his head.
Well, he's got a beard though.
He does.
Okay, so he needs to have.
It makes your beard feel inadequate. That's what his beard is like right now.
You got to do Kratos father then. Kratos father is a good one.
His beard is so powerful, mine just fell out because it just wasn't good enough.
It just ran away in shame.
It's like, nope, can't compete with that. Fucking I'm out.
But I've gotten a lot of requests, since I've got the new printer for cosplay items, and I'm like, cool, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I don't charge anybody for them. I just like supply me material so I can get it done because the big stuff is actually a whole lot easier to print than the small stuff. There's a lot less work behind it. So, other than that, and I've got, my small printer. I'm still trying to get some stuff off of that and see how that's going to work. We'll be doing a post pretty soon because I did a comparison of how long it took me to print certain items on my big resin printer to my FDM printer, and going to show the difference because some people are like, well, what's the big difference and why did you get it? And I'm like, this took me 3 days to paint to print. This took me a week to print and show the difference and everything behind it and such. Of course, startup is a whole different thing, but
well, speaking of 3D printers, I think they would actually be a part of many people's perfect hobby room.
yes,
That's true.
they are. I actually, while we're doing that, I'm going to switch over to the camera because I really want to put these models together and we can get started on the topic.
That was a segue. Thank you for destroying it. That was an actual legitimate good segue. Gonzo's like, check, bam, fuck that segue.
I had to get stuff done. Sorry.
Oh.
All right. So I want to get. Ooh, where's my glasses?
Subtle he is not.
No, will never be. Okay. So I'm gonna put this together, and while we're putting this together, one of the questions from one of our viewers asked about, excuse me, our dream hobby rooms. Is that what they call it?
It was L. Marshall. That was
What?
the viewer.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
It's his fault. It's always.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Then
always.
I said, that's a fantastic idea. We should talk about that.
Yes.
And while we talk about that, I'm gonna get my clippers because I can't seem to find them.
Those clippers, they should be right there.
My dream
Right.
hobby area is one where I can reach every single fucking thing I need right around me. Like this. As if I was Wonder Woman, just twirling, grabbing my tools, my paints, my brushes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's again. So the hobby area, I think there's two versions. There's the hobby area and sort of like the hobby room. Like hobby area, yes. So you can have everything in reach. You can grab everything.
My
Like I can
entire
let's do that.
house is a hobby area, John. The
Yeah.
entire house, except for the kitchen. Yeah,
Right, fair,
well, the
but-
kitchen. We don't even wash the resin in the kitchen. That gets washed in the bathroom.
Fair enough. I wash mine in the kitchen, but anyways. But I agree with you definitely. You want to have everything in reach. Definitely, shelves / whatever all around so you can store the stuff. So you don't have to go. There's nothing worse than having to get up and stop what you're doing to grab something and not just spin around and grab it.
Yep.
AKA accidentally leaving your clippers in the living room because you were in there.
How do you even not have two pairs of clippers, one in here, one in there?
Well, I actually have 3 pairs of clippers. 2 were in the living room, 1 was in the bathroom because I was.
Why do you have clippers in the bathroom?
You don't want to know.
No. I'm tired of not knowing. I need to know. There are questions need answers.
I have a pair of clippers in there because whenever I have to clean off a resin print that's just been printed, I take it into the bathroom so it doesn't, because it has good ventilation, and I can get rid of the smell and all that stuff. No problem. So
What you're saying, what I'm hearing from all of this is you need a 4th pair of clippers.
yes.
Or not keep 2 in the same room.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
mean
that's
to leave
just
the other one in there.
nonsense. Honestly, you really probably need 6 pair of clippers just to be on the safe side.
I have
You need kitchen clippers.
as funny as it is, I actually have 6 pairs of clippers, and they actually are all in the same room. But it's all the room where I do all my hobbying, as in right here. They're right over here. I can literally reach down and go, look, here's a box. There's clippers in there. There's a drawer. Hold on.
Well, when you've got the resin printer, now you need to think about all of the things that go with that, and the disposal, and the cleaning, and the toxic things, and all that stuff.
Well, ideal for a hobby space, yeah, that's extra, Ideally, it would be like a large desk for like what I have, but rather than a printer in the corner, and I know that's so 90s, a printer, I'd love to have the airbrush station, but we're gonna put that in another room. So you have everything right, in this area. Like Louis, I can reach most everything. The hardest thing to reach right now is, models. I got paints. I got lots of hobby stuff behind me. I got my pinning stuff right down here with the Dremel stuff right below it. I can reach that without too much difficulty. I got things like these that are on wheels, and they're bigger drawers over here under the corner of my desk for stuff. That's sort of ideal. I mean, I don't say it's perfect, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, most of my stuff, I do have to kind of, move from in front of my computer over here, but this is my hobby area type thing where I have everything. I mean, all my paints, my airbrush. I don't do a lot of airbrush.
You can't really tell because it's all upside down.
That's fine. Just turn your head upside down.
I mean, I can actually do a handstand, but that doesn't work because my head will be below the level of the desk. Come on, man. Think about this shit.
But, I mean, all of my stuff is pretty much right where it's all in one area. Now, I do have, I have a resin printer in my closet, have a resin printer on on the floor over here, and then I've got my
Well, you're adding the
FDM.
extra stuff that requires. Now you're talking about the hobby room. And then we're
Yes.
talking bigger stuff like gaming
Yeah.
tables and stuff like that. So Marshall has 3 large gaming tables currently all set up for Marvel Crisis Protocol, so he can run 6 games at once.
Nice.
And then also a paint bar with spots for 4 people.
That's nice.
And then a little airbrush station. He's even got the ghetto spray painting station, but you have to go sort of outside for that. There's not really, a ventilation or a hood for that, but he's got a little setup for that. And I think that's probably above and beyond. Like, honestly, Banny and I would just go to the deck. I don't mind that. But, like, having the airbrush station and gaming tables, that's like perfect hobby room. You set up all that stuff in one spot so that you just go into one place. Everyone could be together if you got people hanging out, which is sort of like the old bunker/hobby store type of feel. You want everyone around,
But is there a bar there as well? Just curious. I'm just assuming there is.
I mean, have you? Yeah.
See?
I mean, his hobby space is pretty ideal, but it's pretty much a good portion of the basement.
Yeah.
See, I would love to have, a hobby game room, not just a spot in a room that I do my hobbying, but an entire, floor almost type thing, or a large like the basement type thing to have it.
I mean,
only a basement? I mean,
depending on how big the basement is, but yeah.
Honestly, with Marshall's basement, like literally, you would not. If you need more space than he's got, you are doing some amazing things. Because literally, the way it's set up, he's got the entertainment center and all. He can set up chairs. A lot of people could watch stuff all at once. He could still set up folding tables. He's got at least one of the 6x4s like I have that he could set up elsewhere for other stuff.
It's funny because as you're describing it, it just reminds me of the house of a friend of mine where we used to go, and I mean, they moved away since, but we used to go, and they had several gaming tables, and that's where they recorded their podcast, and they had the airbrush station, and they had walls lined with different paints and tools and everything of the hobby, and then they had a TV there, and the bar with the fridge and everything. Like, El Marshall just great. It's like you live at my friend's house.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great, I'll be honest. As far as ideal, I'm trying to think of what I would add to something like that for like a hobby space. I mean, obviously stools. I might have to bring some stools over because that's helpful. We can't. It's got nice floors for cleaning up, but nice floors for cleaning up are not nice floors for standing on for hours.
No.
Yeah. Unless you put those rubber mats down.
That's what I was going to say. You can get like those rubber mats.
We have those. We have those.
Or stools work. I mean, I've got some stools I might bring over, see if they work. I know some of them are.
There's that too. And V is here.
Hey,
Hi, V.
Leaguer Dragon, there's no painting happening tonight. There is only distraction.
Yes. But he's got pretty much everything. Except super glue. He needs super glue. Get super glue, Marshall. Did you order it yet?
Wait, which super glue though? I mean, there's so many different varieties. Now we're talking about like the thin, the sort of medium thickness, the really thick gel-like super glue. Little tubes of crazy glue.
Yes, Banyan, those are exactly the type of stools I was thinking of taking over. The ones that we have sitting in the other room. I'll bring those next time, or try to remember. But yeah, so like it's sort of a thing. Like, what else would you add to a big hobby space? I mean, ideally, I would say dream hobby space. You'd have like actual ventilation, so you could prime without having to actually step outside.
Oh yeah, a whole big industrial hood.
Yeah,
that'd be a dream.
That would be perfect. Trying to think what else. I mean, he's got all that. I mean, he's even I don't think he has it set up right now, but he can set up his streaming so you can stream games with multiple angles and stuff. He did it on
Even
Discord.
better.
It was great. He does need a podcast recording studio. I mean, that's sort of a. I think that's a necessary part of the gaming area, but.
It is. All you do is you bring all the microphones and whatnot, depending on how you're doing it. Everybody sits around the table, you know.
Well, yeah, actually, so the funny thing is, there actually are, like the conference mics they do for that. You'd have to find one. I think actually my mic has a setting for that would work, but
yeah.
My friends actually had the actual mics, the like Blue Yeti kind of mics on the arms with the pop filters and all that, and they all had the cords that stretched to the mixer.
Yep. Yeah, display cabinets for cool stuff. He's got that covered.
Yep, displays are pretty cool.
Yeah. So he says it's in his work office. So yes, he is set for that. But I'm just saying my perfect area would have that too, just because I'd want it all in one spot. Ideally, I'd also have a dedicated computer for the streaming and all that stuff, separate from the one I use for other stuff. That way, you don't sit in the same spot all the time. While I love sitting in the spot and doing a bunch of stuff, when I was working from home, sitting in the one spot constantly was actually, you just want to get up and do something else.
Hmm? So. Most people, yes.
Yes.
Mostly.
Yeah,
I
could sit and hobby like this. I could be painting minis for about 3 hours, and then I start to get distracted, and I need to do something else.
Mm-hmm. I think also having like the slop sink, the big sort of industrial sink where you're not worried about fucking things up.
Oh, yeah.
That would be perfect. Obviously, the other one you can work, but you have to be careful. You want to make sure it stays clean and all. It's just, I'm talking ideal again here. He asked for perfect ideal. That's on my list of perfect ideal stuff.
It would be good. A hood, a slop sink.
I would honestly also say a cot. You need to have a cot or something. Ideally, it would be like a hammock, an indoor hammock. Fucking A.
I know.
Just because sometimes someone just needs to I need to just lie down and take a breather. That would be perfect. But again, why would you not just go to another room for that? Most places, you can go to another room, whatever. So we actually have a full fridge for beverages and everything. That's also perfect. I think honestly a micro fridge is perfect. But if you can find a good full size fridge and you got the space like he does, so you might as well. What else would be good? A lot of the stuff you start talking electronics that are like just. Do you really, really need that? Like, do you really need a downstairs microwave? Can't you just go upstairs to microwave?
If you need a hammock, you need a downstairs microwave.
Yep. That's fair.
And a little fridge.
Yep.
Well, no. He's got he's got a full fridge, though.
Yeah. You need the micro fridge.
But microwave
is microwave.
Easy. The bar is necessary, but he's got a bar. We're gamers. We're hard drinkers, generally speaking, so... Bar necessity.
Good air circulation, definitely.
Yeah, good air. It's also at a temperature of Jesus Christ. It's fucking cold, which is perfect.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Hard disagree.
Well, the good thing is, Kathy, if it gets too cold, you can walk outside and warm up. In fact, we generally warm up when we walk out for lunch, and he goes and cooks on the grill. It's really. I'm just trying to think of things above and beyond what, is there and all, because there's a lot of stuff, but, I mostly think of that my personal hobby, right? I want to get some more shelves, maybe move these over here and just have more display, but that's because I podcast in the same area that and stream in the same area that I hobby. Quite literally. Let's grab my camera. There is my hobby stuff.
I'm reading a thing that Banyan just wrote.
That's a mistake.
L. Marshall compared with you and Jason Petey. I can't paint. Flat period. Banyan.
Stop.
Don't compare yourself to how other people are doing it. That's like rule number 1 of mini painting. Don't compare yourself to other people because everybody's at a different place.
Oh, yeah,
Yup.
Badian, excellent idea. Having a little photo spot to take photos of your miniatures. That's a great idea.
Oh yes, absolutely.
That way you could just boom, quick pictures. I mean, it's the digital era. Taking pictures of your stuff and putting it up there is great.
He
Yeah,
has
a lot
a
easier
steam
now.
room. What, like a sauna?
Yes.
But is there a hot tub? Don't tell me there's a hot tub.
I'm pretty. I haven't seen it. I'm pretty sure he has one. He's got a pool. It's
So-
obviously not in the basement. In
What?
case I was wondering. Yeah, I mean that's a good one, Marshall, because we all do so much stuff. It'd be cool to have their. Might have to be adopted. You're a little old for that, Banian. I'm trying to think what else. Everything. A lot of the stuff is just just tech and stuff that can be built. Like having lights you can wheel around, so when you're taking pictures of your of the games, you get good light. I mean, he's got pretty good light there. Actually, honestly, I can read most of the stuff without having problems. But yeah, so I mean, I'm just trying to think what else you have. I think the most interesting thing about it is a complete hobby area. It is pretty close. And I mean, like I said, it's all nitpicky stuff at that point. Now, I want a little more than he's got for my personal hobby area, but I mean, my personal hobby area doesn't fit for just hobbying. It fits me.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a place where friends could come over and hobby together. That would be like my own little Fort Wapple.
We used to do that on Saturdays, when the ex-wife just wanted to be home just because she wanted to be around, which is cool. And we'd just come and set up our folding tables and turn on all the lights, and everyone would just hobby at the tables. We can do that. You can do that. Just need a little bit of space and chairs. Oh, that's a good one, Bowie.
What was?
Sorry, I'm drinking. Sound dampening along the walls to cut down on all the echo.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Banian mentions it's been a long time since he last painted well. The last time he tried doing detail, his hands just didn't behave like they did. And I'll tell you, when I took a hiatus from the hobby for 2 years without touching a brush, it took me probably 6 months to where I was comfortable, because before that I did commissions and stuff, and it took me 6 months to get back to where I felt like I could actually do a commission and not be ashamed of it. And that's and I'm asking myself not to do just tabletop. I'm trying to do the same quality I had been putting out before I stopped painting, and it took me that long to get back to that place.
Yep.
So it definitely takes time to kind of retrain your hand-eye coordination for what you want to do.
And you need to just start doing it, and you need to start doing it frequently. I suggest a hobby streak, and I don't want to hear stupid bullshit like, I don't have time. Half an hour a day. If you don't have half an hour a day, reevaluate your life balance. Half an hour. It's not hard.
Have an
Literally
hour.
not hard.
Yep.
And on the days you don't have to, that's not the painting every day. You can be assembly some days. Some days you want to sit down with the rule book to a game and read it. That's part of the hobby. Just fucking do that. But don't just, you've got to paint some consistently. Sometimes you're going to podcast for an hour and a half. That's a hobby streak. Just yabber in my mouth about it. So, I mean, you got to do that. And I've been trying to get Banian to do that, but he just keeps throwing excuses. And the truth is, to be harsh, until you get past your own damn excuses, you're never going to make the time to do it consistently, and you're never going to get better again. It's the harsh truth. And my painting was shit for a long while until I started going, I have to paint. I have to do something. I was painting none at all. Then I started getting back, okay, 1 day a week I'll paint for a good long, hour or two. And then Hobby Street came up, started doing that, and I feel like I'm, if not getting better, getting more consistent and a little speedier.
On the other hand, if that's not where your interests lie in the hobby anymore, then that's fine too.
Yep.
You know?
If you don't want to paint, you don't have to paint.
Yeah.
But if you want to paint, do not make excuses. Make it. Don't. Maybe just set aside, like, you can't do an hour, half an hour a day. Fine. Do 2.5 hours. Do 2.5, 3 hours a week. Just find some way of motivating yourself and going. Because all this hobby space don't mean a fucking thing if we're not getting the models ready and getting there and using it.
It was always the amusing thing for me to go over to somebody's house where they have all this fantastic hobby stuff. They've got all the paint, they've got all the tools, they've got all the fancy stuff, and yet they hardly ever do anything. And they just keep getting more. They collect. Their hobby is collecting hobby stuff, not actually, doing anything with it.
Well, you know what? If it brings them joy, that's okay.
Yeah. It's really, that's not where I am in the hobby, but that's where they are in the hobby. And yeah, exactly.
I'm not, here to, tell you how to hobby. But I'm here to try and motivate you to hobby. The excuses, I mean, I'll be honest. I have a lot of stuff I want to get done. I don't always. I'm like, I'm too tired. Oh, this or that. I don't have the time. Just, we all have to stop making excuses for bullshit and just start doing the stuff we want to do. You just can't just sit here and do it. I can sit and watch YouTube for hours without doing anything. Some days it's exactly what I need. Some days I actually want to watch a fucking movie. I should just go watch a fucking movie. So.
Yeah, getting the motivation, because there's a lot of people that are burnt out, of course, pandemic.
How have we not done an entire topic just on the motivation to paint? And because there's different things that motivate different people. Everybody is motivated to do the hobby differently.
Yes. And there's no right or wrong way to do the hobby. There's just doing the hobby. Gonzo, you can tell me you literally don't have any tweezers?
Not on me, not right here in my area.
They're in the living room.
No, they're actually behind me, and this glue is annoying
I was waiting for you to say they're in the bathroom.
No.
You see, I could get away with tweezers in the bathroom, but still.
Valid. I have tweezers in the bathroom as well.
I actually don't. I have 5 pairs next to me in the drawer, but I don't have any in the bathroom.
Acid Burn Punk has the crucial question here, but is there a right and wrong way to hold your hobby holder?
No. However's comfortable. If you hold it like this to paint like this, that's fine. Sometimes I'll hold it like this. I'll get fingers together, just be like, where's my brush? And I'll just be like, hold on, need fingers. All right, cool. I'm stable. Let's go. There's no right or wrong way.
There's also no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
As long as it ends up in the fucking stomach, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. I like it to travel down the taste buds first, though, honestly. That's the fun part. But I digress.
Yes, Marshall brings a good point. Write down your paint plans. If you're mixing paints or even if you're just painting bases or whatever, write it down. I have a book. Hold on.
That is a really good idea. That is a very good plan.
I get all these from clients and stuff, and I'm just like, cool, here's a book. It actually has a pen usually in it that just fell out when I pulled it out.
I have one, but I don't know what I did with it.
Also these are stupid, cheap, and your friend. More so than this.
They're also fantastic if you're doing like a unit of guys and you have to remember the last, like you're halfway done and you're like me, you keep forgetting paint the hands.
Yes.
I'll have a list of things I need to do. I need to paint the eyes, I need to paint the hands, I need to paint the teeth, the bony ridges, the whatever.
Yeah, otherwise you get to the gaming table, you're like,
oh, on the Keltos models, for Christ's sake, Kathy. That's my reminder.
Hold on. The right way to eat them is is to not. Hold on. Are you saying the right way to eat Reese's is to not eat Reese's? Because I mean,
That's
I
a
can
hard
solve
disagree
that
unless you're,
allergic to peanut
allergic
butter.
to
Because
nuts.
that's Mizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain
Well,
Mizzy hates peanut butter.
so this is spiral at the top, Marshall. This is good for lefties too. But I
Yeah, that's
understand.
what I was gonna say. Spiral at the top. Yep.
But honestly, even this book, you could. It's lined both ways. You could very much just run it lefty instead of righty. But I suggest getting a book of some variety. I actually have another one over here for MechWarrior stuff. I mean, notepads are good. We laugh at hard copy. I actually have another one here. This one, I actually take to work and write down notes there when I think of painting stuff or gaming stuff or what have you, just so I don't. So I'm always thinking of stuff, so I'm always something to write down on.
Cosmic Cubicle says, I had to buy special quartz tweezers due to my love of magnets. That is such a good idea.
This is a really good
such
actually.
a good idea. How many times have I been trying to put a tiny little magnet into the socket of a little thing so that I could get, I totally understand that. And then they stick to the tweezers and you're trying to glue it in and you're holding it there hoping the glue dries, but you take the tweezers away and the glue's not dry yet.
Oh, well, Bania, for work stuff, I have several notebooks at work for strictly work stuff. I make work buy those, but I get other ones, and sometimes you get free ones from whatever client or whatever, and I use those for notes and stuff. I've got lists of stuff just that come to my mind because I could take notes on my phone, but we're not supposed to play with the phone at work, so instead I take notes on a notepad. No one gets upset if you're writing stuff down.
Green Stuff World has interesting quartz tweezers.
I'm interested in that as well because sometimes it's a pain in the ass when you're trying to magnetize things. That's coming along there, Gonzo. I can't say that I am. How should I put this? I think it looks fine. I think it's a little fucking fiddly for the size, and the proportions are a little weird. Those legs are stubby as fuck.
What's it supposed to be?
It's a heavy gear.
It's a heavy gear, but this is the basic Grunt Trooper. These guys are actually considered to be like one of the fast troops. One thing that you will like, you can use round or hex bases in this game.
Nice.
So.
What's the size of that round baser?
The standard Space Marine, not the Ultramarine.
32?
Yeah, the 30.
Yeah, is it 32 or is it 25?
It looks like 32.
I can't tell. There's nothing there for scale except his fingers, and I don't understand the scale of Gonzo fingers.
Hold on a second.
I don't know.
Do you have tiny hands, Gonzo?
No, I do not have tiny hands. I'm holding it because I'm trying not to use any zip picker. There you go. There's a Necron.
Ben Ness, those are Necrons. What are Necrons on anymore? Fuck, I don't even know.
Here you go. Here's Battletech.
Okay.
Put Hannaford scale.
Okay, cool. That I can work with. Because I got one of those here. Bases. Hold on. Don't even know where I've got bases. I got bases somewhere.
Thanks for posting a link to that Green Stuff World tweezers, Marshall.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. It's cool you got those. I got 3 models painted, because I love painting the Marvel Crisis Protocol models. It is super fun. Those are basically 25s. They're
25.
I think.
Okay.
I think. 30. Let's call them 30. So not Space Marines. Space Marines are on 32s because they have to be fucking different. Because Games Workshop is Games Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's an Archer. No, Archer. There's the band.
There's a model I just got from Legends of Signum, and their bases are 32mm too.
Interesting. It's weird that so many companies are going to weird base sizes. Makes difficult getting resin bases, which is good and bad. It is bad because I like resin bases. It's good because
that's difficult because a lot of people are making resin bases in they see Games Workshop add new sizes and they go, fuck, this is invalidated, these sets of bases, but then they get right to it and start making more, or revisiting their files and making them for 32 millimeter.
Well, I was actually talking also about, like, Infinity has lots of weird sizes, so literally there are mechs for Infinity that you can't get a base for. You have to use a standard, and if you're doing a whole theme, that becomes a pain in your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, the very cool guy at Death Ray Designs, when I was putting together my Magariba, which is a giant mech, basically, I gave him measurements of the base, and he printed me one single base topper for that base. And,
cool.
I gave him some money. I don't remember how much. It was cheap, and it was the most awesome thing. But, I love resin bases, so you get a theme together, and then suddenly you get weird base sizes. It's just a random thought came to me. Like Marvel, I would have loved to do some cool Marvel bases, but no one had bases. I would have had to wait a very long time to get, like, Marvel bases. So
it's so much easier now, though, for people to resize files if they're digitally sculpted, and it's an STL. It's so much easier to, I need it to be 33.5 millimeter or some craziness.
I can't unsee how stubby the fucking legs are. Turn it sideways for me.
I put him on a rocking forward because I put his right legs on incorrectly.
Yeah,
their legs are stubby. The legs on these guys this unit are stubby. Now I'll do the bigger one.
Okay.
Yeah, Cosmic Cubicle's like every size the STLs from 32 to 35. That's the way to do it.
I long for the days when base size isn't as important because, I mean, who cares? There are games where it matters, games where it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the rules of this and talking to the guy, which we will have on air. We will have him show up one time.
You can say his name.
Nick. Will just Nick. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his
guy named Nick.
I don't know what his official title is or anything within the company.
What's the name of the company?
DreamPod 9.
Well, yeah, plug this. Plug this visit.
Yeah, I don't know what his official is on it, but he will definitely be on. And he will be talking about the game and the size and all this other stuff. But we wanted to get some other things done before that happened.
What's the name of the company again?
It is DreamPod 9. And it is Heavy Gear Blitz. They just recently redid all their models or doing all their models in plastic.
Cool.
I like the game. The game was a lot of fun. I've done some demo games of it, and I was like, okay. And so the very, very cool part about all this is this entire army is 65, and this is all you technically need. Nick did say that, you probably want to get like a large Strider and a unit of troops to round it out. So it'd probably be roughly about $100. And you have your entire complete game. Like a 2,000 point 40K or a 75 point War Machine and Hordes. And that
we don't need to compare, just full game is fine.
Yeah. But
I saw you and him posted on Facebook, and there was some good discussion there.
Yeah.
Legionnaires had some questions, and he was right on answering all of them, which is super cool.
Yeah, he definitely. Nick is a very knowledgeable guy. Nick is very, 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 very smart. He's a professor by trade also. That's what he does for a living. An engineer professor. So, I don't know how he got started working with DreamPod 9, but they got that, and he's trying to do some cool things. And of course, I'm always going to pimp my friend's stuff. And he showed me a demo of the game, and it's a squad-based type game. Mech squad base and not, like individual mechs type thing. So you have squads in it. These are the larger size This is a. Let's see. This is a Chaucer, and this is a Chevalier. And this is a group called the New
Our
Cole.
apologies to French for the pronunciation of said words.
This is the New Cole division, and their like little shtick is they're a hit and run fast type unit army. They're not into the big old heavy guns and everything, so they're more of a quick run, hit people, run away.
I like that. I like that. That seems to be a viable way of playing in the game. That's cool.
Yeah. So that was the reason why I chose them, and they looked okay. And some of their big Strider tanks are actually kind of cool too. So all the rules are free online. The one and everything's free online. I think they do all their stuff through was it RPG Drive-Through RPG or whatever that is.
Drive-Through RPG, fair enough.
Yeah. They do all the one thing that doesn't come in the box set is instructions on how to put them together and what each individual weapon is. I don't know what all of these weapons are. I do know that the weapon on that small one is the standard, autocannon type thing, but I don't know what all of these are. So you just have to download the PDF and you can figure out what everything is and how to outfit them, type thing. So not a big deal. Not a thing.
As a funny note, I want to say, Bowie had a very cool display or storage thing for all of his measuring accoutrement and such for Marvel Crisis Protocol. That also came with custom measuring stuff. He got off Etsy, and I had him send me the link, and it turns out that I have already favorited that store, which I find is funny.
What store is it?
It is called, you made me wait until I lowered it. It's called COG02.
In case anybody else wants to.
Yeah, they have very cool stuff. It was it was a good price from the UK for everything you needed, and they've got a bunch of stuff, including one of my favorites, which is the collapsible folding little dice tray. Because not everyone can carry a wooden box, but having the one where it snaps in the corners and suddenly becomes, that's really cool.
It's like a flat, and then you snap it together. I've seen those.
Yep.
They're great.
And there's a lot of stuff. He did. I think I had him saved because he did some cool stuff for the Transformers TCG back when that was still a thing. I find it humorous, not in the right way, unfortunately, Kathy, that both of the games you and I both played, card games, are both dead.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep.
And this is why we don't usually use card games. But there's Transformers deck building game that I have pre-ordered. And they're coming out with a G.I. Joe one, which I will also pre-order because why not? See, there's the thing. For Ideal Hobby Space, to get back to the topic, after completely going off the rails, having toppers or something so you can play board games or role-playing games also. That way you're getting double use out of the space. There's no point. You don't necessarily do you need to have a separate role-playing and board gaming and everything. And
hell no. No.
Get it all together. I think that is ideal as well. And I think he can do something like that, or just set up the other game table. Like when we have people over here, I just set up the 4x6 I have. He has the same one pretty much. And we just play whatever on it. Actually, for role-playing, we don't bother set up tables. We set up little trays. I have a bunch of the tray tables. Set those up so you can roll dice on them. But other than that, it doesn't really matter anymore.
That's true.
Lean back into your comfy seat.
I still like sitting at a table with people because then you can put all the snacks in the middle.
Yeah.
And let's face it, that's the real reason why I do role playing.
For the snacks.
Oh my god. I remember a few times. Oh, absolutely sharing snacks, Banyan. Absolutely. Everybody's bringing stuff all the time back when we used to get together at my friend Jim's house.
Oh, yeah. It was like standard. Who's bringing drinks? Who's bringing snacks?
Although the guy who always sat to my left, Jack, bless him, would bring just some weird shit. Like he'd stop at the it was a Filipino grocery, and he would get like this big thing of like this broth that had chicken livers in it.
Okay.
Who does that? Who does that to a person that they like sitting next to them?
Apparently Jack does.
Or there was the time that he brought Limburger cheese,
Oh.
Yeah, no.
and I had to sit next to that.
I will point out also that there are certain snack rules at Marshall's place. No ranch. Marshall hates ranch. No ranch.
No ranch? What the? Okay,
Oh,
what's the
interesting.
story?
I'm there for no ranch, but interesting.
It means no Cool Ranch Doritos, so I always buy regular Doritos.
Oh, see,
See, no cherries is a different thing. That is actually a rule of Miss Marshall, not Mrs. Marshall, not Marshall, because
Cool Ranch
previous
Doritos isn't
experience.
ranch though. It's a
Yeah,
whole different thing.
Look, rules are rules.
Just saying.
I love Cool Ranch Doritos, but I
Yeah.
will follow the rules.
Oh, I feel
But-
like ranch dressing, ranch dip. No.
Actually, you know what? And I think since that incident, we have not really had a sort of drinking get together at Marshall's place. Probably for the best.
I don't even want to know. No, this has to do with the bucket and Stovacor, doesn't it?
It does have the to do with the bucket and Stovacor, yes.
I don't want to know.
And apparently,
I am prepared for that. I would like to hear that rant someday, L. Marshall, someday. But I still am absolutely adamant that Cool Ranch Doritos are not actually ranch flavored.
So the cherries in the bucket and Stovacor is from the last time we drank together, and apparently 2 separate people walked up to Mrs. Marshall and apologized for us being so drunk so quickly. I was one of them. I was also the one who made sure Bowie got his bucket. I was also the one who cleaned out said bucket after said Stovacor.
That's a true friend.
And I was the one who made sure everyone sat down and watched movies to sober up so they could fucking go home. Because someone went to bed early.
Oh, that's like the cardinal rule of never doing. Never be the first one to go to sleep.
Not at a place where you're hosting.
Yep. He was out. Just went to bed.
Like your wife has permission to go to bed early if you're hosting, but
Oh, she was down there hanging out. We all watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Permission. It's a valid decision for her if she wanted to.
Yeah, we watched Guardians of the Galaxy and watched John Wick, and then Louise's wife had to come pick him up because he was still a little rough.
Can't say I've never heard stories like that before.
I mean, well, in Bowie's defense, we were sort of having 2 separate conversations. It was Marshall and his cousin Mikey, and then myself and Dan. And he was sort of between the 2 groups, and we were each drinking separately, and he sort of was in on both. So he was kind of drinking more than the rest. So, there's drinking stories from us. We don't do anything half-assed. When we had the
media section.
Is it that time already?
Gosh, yes.
Damn. Okay. So here you go, John. Here's the leg of the commanders or whatever.
Well, a leg without the rest of the body does not let me know.
No, but I'm saying
it's going to be stubby.
Yeah. So just a size comparison type thing.
Interesting.
It's going to be tall, big, but stubby.
Yeah.
Wait, he's going to be girthy.
Yeah.
Oh, Marshall.
I'll
Cheers.
Figure it.
Hydrate.
Oh.
Hey, I'll hydrate.
I get the water glass out for those occasions.
I mean, I have. But I'm just going to drink more of this until it's done.
Okay.
It's the media section.
Oh, I need to hydrate. Sorry.
You do?
Where we talk about movies and TV shows and books and music
And video games.
And video games. We talk about them. I would say that we review them, but honestly, I feel like I just talk about them.
I do occasionally review them. I put deep thought into certain movies.
John is very good at critiquing media. I just talk about it.
Well, also, let's start. I think, Gonzo, that Kathy and I are in agreement that you need to learn the difference between style and bad acting.
Oh, no. I actually went back. Yes. I went back to it and started over again, and even got past. I was past, way past the bowling alley scene. I don't remember how much farther past that, and I still could not stand it. And it annoyed me more than anything else. I could not get past. By the way, we're talking about Gunpowder Milkshake. I gave it
Gunpowder Milkshake, which is on Netflix right now.
Yeah. Yep. And I could not get through the whole thing. It was annoying to me. It grated on my nerves. I just couldn't get past it. It just I can't remember the lady's name. That's the main actress. She kept on going back to her role in Guardians of the Galaxy. I just kept on feeling that vibe from her, and I was just like, I just couldn't get through it.
In all honesty, Gonzo, this is a you problem.
I'm sure it is.
With what she did not channel Nebula at all. She is so different than that. It's not like any of her other roles.
Yeah, I didn't see Nebula there.
It got on my nerves so bad. I could not get through it. I was like, I kept on hearing Nebula, and I kept on, and the acting and the lines were.
She wasn't even saying it in the same tone or.
Oh yeah, there were some times. Yeah, there was some times.
Not at all. I'm here to tell you, you're straight crazy.
You may think I'm crazy, but she definitely was channeling Nova in some of those, and I was like, there's no way. I couldn't get past even the dialogue. Look at this. We all agree that we're all different on this, but I just
feel like you watched an entirely fucking different movie.
Yeah, because here's me. The entire time I'm watching this is, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I should message John, but I don't want to spoil how I feel about this. All I did was say, I have thoughts about this movie. I loved it. There was a moment where I thought that the ending was going to be bleak.
Yep.
And I was not disappointed by the ending.
No, I was not either. Actually, I enjoyed it a lot. I actually, El Marshall actually set my expectations properly when he said if you saw Shoot 'em Up with Clive Owen, it's a lot like that. And it is a lot like Shoot 'em Up. It's not quite as egregious, but...
What it reminded me of was Kill Bill, Foxy Brown, and what was the other one on the tip of my tongue? But it was very, very Quentin Tarantino. To me, it had that feel to it. And therefore I enjoyed it because I like a lot of Tarantino films.
Yeah,
and I think my only expectation was, I don't know if it was John or Gonzo who said something about if you like a lot of corn syrup, and I knew it was going to be bloody. So, whatever.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was fine. I thought it was probably in the area of slightly above average to average action movie for me. It has a particular style. If that style tickles your fancy, you're gonna love it. If it doesn't tickle your fancy, you won't like it. If it doesn't tickle your fancy and just something's eating at you, you'll be like Gonzo and you'll fucking hate it. I don't even understand, but it's just the way it is. I would give it. I mean, I don't find any major flaws. Any flaw I would point out is that's the style. That is the style they went for, It's stylistic, and those are going to be the movies that are going to hit you the most. Either you're going to love it or hate it.
Right at the beginning, I knew it wasn't going to take itself super seriously. Right at the beginning. So I was ready for an adventure. I wasn't ready for, grinding through a super heavy action film with only explosions. Although there were explosions.
If anything, I would say it is a little tonally fluid, let's say. It's in the same general range, but it goes up and down in that range. But I very much enjoyed it. I think most of the people did a great job in it. Well, I'd say good job in it. I don't want to say great. I'm sort of overselling it. I give it, let's say 2 space herpes, 2.25 space herpes. It was fine. It was enjoyable. Glad I watched it. Probably wouldn't revisit it anytime soon. Kathy,
I'd give it 1, and I want to watch it again.
There you go. So you have 3 ratings, and it all depends on how much you like the style it has, the style it brings.
Yeah, that was totally not my thing.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Totally not my thing.
May I suggest you never watch Shoot 'em Up with Clive Owen then?
I've watched Shoot 'em Up, and I don't mind Shoot 'em Up. See?
I suggest you get your head examined.
I didn't mind
I
Shoot 'em Up. I actually got through all of Shoot 'em Up. I couldn't, and I went back and I rewatched this, and I said, all right, I'm going to start over again. And I was like, let's start over again. Let's do it. And
you got through Shoot 'em Up. Yeah. I fucking loved Shoot 'em Up. It is absolutely batshit crazy, more so than this.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Shoot 'em Up.
So, there you go. 3 different reviews of the same movie.
What was? Okay, so I have 5 things so far, and they go from
at least one more, and I got at least one more.
Yeah,
I do have it. I have more than one more. Ooh. I have like 2 more.
Ooh.
Only, yeah.
Well, I'll go through one. Won't have to go through one of them because I kind of touched on it and just finished the series up, and I was going to give a series rating. But I wanted to talk about Cosmic Sin. Cosmic Sin is on Netflix with Bruce Willis. And
for fuck's sake, you watched that?
I tried.
Right, let me tell you, I saw the previews for that, and Abdul Akbar popped out of the corner and just yelled, "It's a trap!"
Yeah, it is. They've spent their entire budget on Bruce Willis. Their special effects was horrible. The story was unbelievably nowhere. It didn't go anywhere. Do what?
What's the premise?
The premise is that we've actually started colonizing the universe, and we now have first contact with an alien race. And this thing, there are so many plot holes. It's like a shotgun shot through a piece of paper. I mean, it is horrible beyond belief.
Well, let me say something, because it rarely happens. The Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter for this movie, for the critics, is 3%.
Yeah, it's bad.
The audience score is a much higher 60, but 3%.
It's bad. I mean, this is stupid bad. You can see while Bruce Willis is acting it, he's like, "Where's my fucking agent? I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm gonna beat him up for getting this for me." It's bad.
So Metacritic, which is a much more normalized review, you get a much more balanced view. It has a Metascore of 9. Please note that is still out of 100.
Yeah.
It is a user score of 1.2 out of 5.
It's bad.
Holy shit. I ain't seen a movie this bad since Cats.
It is really... I'm sure Cats has a higher rating.
Let's find out, shall we?
Yeah, it was bad. I wholeheartedly don't even... Just like if you could delete it type thing.
Oh, so actually, Cats is a higher tomato meter at 19%, but the audience score is actually lower at 53%. That's actually... It's on par with Cats, and that scares me in many, many ways.
So, yeah, it's a total skip for me. This movie was bad. I mean, Bruce Willis was like, "Is this the end of my career, and where's my agent? Because I'm going to kill him for getting me this job."
I need to change something. That 1.2 user score, I apologize. I was incorrect. That's not out of 5. That's out of 10. Because Cats is a 5.4 out of 10 and a 32 minutes. Okay, yeah. So apparently it is worse than Cats.
Wow.
Which I doubt highly, but
it was just bad. Bad. Don't go. So, Kathy, what do you got?
Finally completed my James Bond Odyssey by watching the 1967 version of Casino Royale with David Niven, Peter Sellers, Woody Allen, etc.
Woody Allen's in that? Holy
Yeah.
Shit.
Spoilers: Woody Allen is the villain.
Oh shit.
He's James Bond's nephew.
That sounds just as shitty as a premise as Spectre.
It is.
Okay.
The bad guys are called Smersh.
Yeah, I remember Smersh.
And the evil consortium is basically just like Spectre. Their goals are world domination and stuff. But the whole time I'm like, the writers were dropping acid while they were writing this.
I mean,
I'm pretty certain.
On a scale of 1 to Ninja Batman.
It is. Oh, it's so Ninja Batman. It's so fucking weird. I loved it because it just. You could tell that even though it was the same source material as the Daniel Craig Casino Royale, it was a spoof. It was absolutely more Austin Powers, only it was actually James Bond taken from the novel by Ian Fleming, Casino Royale. But it was making fun of all the previous James Bond movies. And I could appreciate that a lot, having watched all of the James Bond movies. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, but oh my god, I felt like I should have dropped acid before watching it.
For those of you wondering, do not drop acid before watching Cats.
No.
Just don't. Trust me. I've never had acid, but trust me on that. So what do you give it for a rating?
4 stars. But you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it. It isn't something I want to watch over and over again, but yeah, it was worth it. It is a part of that whole James Bond Odyssey, and if you're doing all of James Bond, you have to watch it.
Fair enough. Gonzo, what's your next one?
I did watch, what was it? So, Troll Hunters, Tales of Arcadia. The movie came out this week, and it is the culmination of all 3 series together to put a cork on the series. And it was Troll Hunters: Rise of the Titans. I love Troll Hunters, love Three Below, love Wizards. I wish I had more of it. It is a great cartoon. Good story, good characters, everything. This movie, they actually upped their production value and upped their animation. It was a lot more crisp, a lot more cool. But this movie hits you right in the guts quite a few times. You kind of like, this is a kid's series and stuff with a little bit of death here and there. This one, I ugly cried at the end. I was like, oh crap, at a couple of things, and you don't expect it, and then when it hits, because you're like, oh yeah, oh shit, where, and then it hits you, and you're just like, fuck. But not gonna spoil it because I know it's just kind of come out. This was a very good ending to the series. Very good ending. Everything went really well. I enjoyed the shit out of it. We'll probably never ever see any more Tales of Arcadia. It's pretty much done, but I highly recommend it. I give this one maybe half a Space Herpes, and the entire series I probably give, and talking about all 3 series and the movie, I would probably give it like one to maybe 1.5 Space Harpies. Because it's now that it's all out, you could start Troll Hunters, watch Troll Hunters, go to Three Below, go to Three Below to go to Wizards, and then go to the movie, and you would be blown away. It's super solid. I really liked it a lot. Kind of sucks I'm never going to see it anymore, but it did give a good ending to the series. So, highly recommend it. It's done by Guillermo del Toro, so I mean, it's it's solid all the way through.
Cool.
But yeah, there was definitely some ugly cry hits in the feels type thing throughout the entire thing. Yeah, it would go with him. It is a very strong roller coaster because everything comes to conclusion. So, John?
Well, today I watched Nobody. That's the movie that came out. The movie came out this year with what's his name, Bob Odenkirk, and it's done by one of the guys. It was written by one of the guys from John Wick, and it sort of has that sort of feel, even if it's not nearly as realistic. It is very much stylized violence. He's another one of those modern action heroes where his main power, aside from being able to kill everybody in the room, is just being fucking tough and able to fight through like wounds that most people would not. The whole story is basically he's just a nobody. He's just some guy works at a job doing accounting management type stuff until some people break in, and you get the idea that he is a bit more violent than is let on. And then you learn that he's led a past life as an auditor. The last person anyone wants to see show up at their company. Yeah, so get to that, Marshall. Bob Odenkirk's the main character. It's got the RZA in it, which is amusing. You don't see him much, but he's amusing in it. And then Christopher Lloyd plays his father. It is great to see Christopher Lloyd and stuff, and he is a fucking hoot. It starts off really slow, but when it starts going, like the ending scene is super amazing. It's in that sort of John Wick, The Equalizer sort of vein. It's so good. Yeah, Banyan, an actor that Banyan recognized and knew the name of, Christopher Lloyd. That's rare. It also had Michael Ironside in it. Not a big role, but it's super cool just to have. I love it when there's no I in that Banyan. I love it when they get those old character actors we love and just get little roles for them. Because if I made a movie, I would totally do that shit. I'd be like, let's get all the guys I love, and they're gonna whatever role's perfect for them.
I like Michael Ironside in anything.
This movie is super violent. Not like disgustingly so, but just brutally so at points. It has a very similar plot structure to a point of most of Gunpowder Milkshake, where someone who shouldn't get hurt gets hurt for being in the wrong place at the wrong time doing the wrong stupid shit. And then that person has to deal with that. I'm like, well, that's apparently a theme of the weekend. But, man, it's super fun. The ending is worth it for the fucking end. The beginning, slow, kind of interesting, but when it gets going, it's just like, there's a couple scenes where like someone recognizes maybe who or what he was, and they just like are fucking out. Like there's a hacker that's sent to find information, and they like blackmail someone at the Pentagon, get the information, and they just throw the stuff at the bad guy like, here's the information, I'm fucking out, you don't need to pay me. Like apparently they did not want to fuck with this guy, and that is a great way of showing that reputation. Yeah, the old dude in the tattoo shop was fucking hilarious. He's like, they're all badass and everything. The old guy's like, thank you for your service, and goes into the back office, and you hear 17 locks clicking in the door. There's a lot of cool style with this. It is awesome. Like at the end, Christopher Lloyd at the end is, Dad, you brought a lot of shotguns. You brought a lot of Russians. I enjoyed the fuck out of the end of that movie. I purchased it. It is not rent. You can rent it, of course. I just spent the $20 and purchased it instead in case I want to watch it again. Spoiler, I like to watch it again. Banyan might want to watch it again. It's there. So I like the crap out of it. I'm going to give it 1.5 space herpes. It is definitely in the good action movie. It's not quite in the John Wick range. It's a little slow at the beginning and a little more, and it's a little less realistic overall. And yeah, maybe that's your thing, maybe it's not. But enjoy the fuck out of it. Gonzo, I'm sure you have more.
Oh, of course, I always have more. I did watch Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
Dropped on Netflix. There's a reason why it's called Masters of the Universe and not He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And there is a reason behind this. So I'm not going to spoil it or anything. Just be prepared for that.
I'm pretty sure the internet has already whined about that to the nth fucking degree.
They have.
Shut your fucking hole. There was more than one main character in that shit.
Yeah, there was. My biggest issue with the entire thing is there was only 5 episodes, and each episode is 25 minutes long. I was hoping for a bit more. I was really like, oh, I wish there would have been... I understand the 25, 30 minute, because it's, the standard, Master Universe show, but I was hoping for more than 5 episodes. 5 episodes, it just felt really short.
Honestly,
But
they're going to do that because they want to see if it's going to hit like they think.
Correct.
5 episodes means they're not losing the bank if it doesn't go well. They can tell a complete little story and then go. And if it does well, they'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Correct. That was the. I mean, I can tell that's what they did because they set it up. The last episode sets up a new whole thing. So I'm sure they were like, let's do these 5. Let's see how it hits. Let's see how it goes through. And if we got good ratings and good people, we'll give you a full series. And then they'll probably do more.
Louis says apparently they made 10.
Okay, well, they only released 5 then. How about that? That's all I know. They only released 5. And they may release 5 now and 5 later. But, and I'm okay if they release like 1 a week type thing. I'm not all this that has to be binged, type thing. But the art style is really good. Everybody's captured like they're supposed to be. There are little parts that are just kind of like, okay, yeah. And there are some lines that are pretty fucking cheesy, like the TV show was. And there are some lines that are not appropriate. That you would be like, oh, they're catering to the adult with that line. Overall, I didn't have a problem with it. You can tell that they're building to something else, and they're getting to something else because at the end of the last episode, it changes everything up for Masters of the Universe series type thing, which I'm cool with. You can't do the same thing over and over and expect to be a complete hit.
No, you can't. You get different stuff. In fact, that's sort of the thing people will have a problem with Hollywood is just remaking the same thing, which reminds me of something else we did talk about before Kathy talks about her last one.
But overall, I didn't mind it. I give it like 1 space herpy because it's just it was good. I kind of get blindsided a bit, but you get over it, and if you can't get over it, then you're just living too much in the past, and you're just wanting to just have the past over and over again. It has to be fresh and it has to be new, or it's just going to be whatever. Type thing. But like I said, 1 space RP, because there was just some parts I was like, really? Did you? Yeah, no. Okay. All right, let's go with it. Type thing. So I recommend it, especially if you like the old original cartoon.
Cool. Well, Kathy, before we go to your last one, we need to talk about that Dune trailer.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Fucking A. I was like, I'm not really going to go out to the theater to see movies. I'm not going to go see Black Widow. Maybe I'll see the Suicide Squad because it looks really good. I probably won't see Dune in the theater. Then that second trailer drops, and I'm like, fuck no, I'm going to go see Dune in the fucking theater. Holy shit.
It's going to be amazing.
That trailer is on point. And so... I like the David Lynch one. I know Kathy also likes the David Lynch one. I thought it was a good movie, especially for the time. People shit on it, but go away, dudes. It's a good movie. This looks like it's much the same thing. They got a great cast for it.
Oh yeah,
the cast looks great. That looks so good.
I like that young Paul Atreides is actually young and not 30.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be young.
Yes. I watched that right before we got on the air because I was like, oh, I need to watch this. And I was like, holy fuck. This just looks done well. The special effects good. The costumes look good. Everything looks solid. It's not like here's just a rehash, type thing, and we're just going to put all these characters back in and make them, new faces.
I feel like they put a lot of thought into
yes.
Not, just trying to do a remake.
Dune's always going to be a passion project for someone because it is the movie that swallows men's souls.
There's so much going on in it. There's so many different things, and you have to pick and choose what things you want to keep in there and what things you have to leave out, even though you don't want to.
Yeah.
And I feel like Josh Brolin's going to be an excellent, Gurney Halleck, which is impressive because Patrick Stewart played him in the David Lynch one. So you got big shoes to fill, sir. Man, it just looks so good.
Marshall suggests reading the book before Dune comes out. What, again? Okay.
I have not read it. I may not be able to because I have to finish what I'm reading, and then I have to read my cousin John's book, out now.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see if I got time to read it beforehand. If not, it's on my list. It's on my graded list. It's just I don't get as much reading time as I want. But yeah, that trailer, if you haven't seen the trailer, fucking watch it. And then hopefully you'll be as excited as us and you'll want to go see it in the theater because it looks fucking great.
I was kind of curious how long it was going to be because the story is actually, you couldn't do the book as a movie without it being, fucking forever.
And you never can do the whole Dune story because,
correct,
like a lot of things, this is almost like the pre-ramble, the beginning of the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, the movie is going to be 2 hours and 35 minutes. So that's a good lengthy movie.
I would also point out, it's not going to cover everything that was covered in the David Lynch one.
Correct.
It's going to be like...
It'll focus on different areas.
Well, I hear they have a second movie, like, quasi-planned for, the rest of it and all. If you will, the first book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I definitely, the production value, the special effects, all of that I was blown away by that. I was like,
the actor looks great too. So
I was definitely looking forward to it. I think this is going to be super solid.
Yep. Kathy, what's your other one?
So it's really two, but we've all seen them a million times. And it was today I watched Temple of Doom, and last week I watched, and I forgot to mention it. I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark. Which is my favorite movie of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Hold up a second. Temple of Doom, the second best Indiana Jones movie, Marshall. That came up in our chat, in our Discord on Friday.
Absolutely. I love it. But part of the reason why I love it is because when I was a kid and it came out, I immediately got the book of the movie. Mm-hmm. And the book of the movie actually has more stuff in it. It has more backstory for Willie. It has more backstory for Short Round at the beginning. You learn so much more about them, and why Willie's in China to begin with, and then Short Round's life up to then, and you get when Indy is forced to swallow the black blood of Kali, it also talks about how he's perceiving the world as he's in that drugged state, and it's really creepy.
Mystico Blood. Books tend to have more stuff than movie counterparts. The other one I hear is really good for that is Star Trek VI is the other big one I always hear about.
It's not a book that the movie was based on, though. It is the book of the movie, and usually the book of the movie is pretty much just the movie with not a whole lot more added.
Well, my point on Temple, I was always a big, I like it. I like The Last Crusade and all that. But then after listening to a podcast called 80s All Over, which unfortunately stopped before they completed their task, which was to review every 80s movie in order that they came out, which is a fucking tall order, so not surprising they didn't get through it all. They got through quite a bit, and they had a long one on Temple of Doom where they say the perfect Indiana Jones watching order is to watch it in order. You watch the beginning of The Last Crusade, then you watch the Temple of Doom, then you watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, then you go back and finish The Last Crusade.
This makes sense.
And then you get a better progression for Indy. Temple of
And
Doom
we all
has
know
a
those are the
huge...
only 3 Indiana Jones movies in existence.
Absolutely.
What?
You know, nobody even mentioned anything else.
Yeah, but
Like-
it's... Temple of Doom has such great character development for
It
Indy
does.
just in that
Now-
movie.
That being said, I could whine all day about the Willie character and how she was written. I know Kate Capshaw was just had to be in this film, but the writers could have come up with something a little more, you know.
She's the worst part of the movie. Let's
She's
just say.
just
Sorry.
so
It's terrible.
stupid. The character is written as just this stupid woman, and
Yes.
it just grates on everyone, not just me.
And Banian, we do love The Last Crusade as well. I love The
Oh,
Last Crusade.
absolutely.
I just hate that it turns every tertiary character into a fucking comic, into comedy, rather than like Sala was an actual legitimate, serious character.
Sala was
Marcus
beautiful.
Brody, legitimate, serious
Mhm.
character. The last one, they make them all comedy because that's what the times were. That was the times. So now we're looking back in hindsight, looking at it and going, it doesn't fit as well, what have you. I stick by that, though. Their sort of in-quality Indiana Jones just goes downhill from the beginning.
I would, yeah. It's not. It is a wonderful movie, Last Crusade.
Yes.
I agree, but I also agree with John.
No, Marshall, in 1,000 years I won't be worth spit. But I like Temple of Doom a lot. I think it's underrated. I think it's underappreciated. I think everyone should revisit it. And try and do that. If you've got the collection, try and do that. Watch that first bit with young Indiana Jones, with River Phoenix, rest in peace. Then watch Temple of Doom. Then watch Raiders. Then finish that and see if you see that character progression. I did it that way, and it made a world of difference because you see how his character changes. Kathy, what do you give it?
I give it 0 space herpes.
And that mind scene, that
Even-
mind part scene.
Even
Oh.
with the Willie Scott written as she was, I still give it 0 space herpes because it's
There you
just
go.
the whole thing overall is just so much fun.
It's also
At
so
the end,
pulpy.
you're walking out of the theater. You've got a spring in your step. You feel like you've been involved in an adventure.
Yep, it's super pulpy. It's great.
And I just want to say that Dio just mentioned the choker that I'm wearing. He made that for me. He made that. He does leather working, his dice bags and stuff too. Dio, feel free to throw your link
Yeah,
into
shit.
the chat. Promote yourself and your
Mhm.
fabulous leatherworking.
Everyone loves dice bags here. You're talking to a bunch of dice rollers.
He also
Dude.
does custom knife sheaths, which are fantastic as well.
Now you're talking L. Marshall's language. Nice sheaths. You can't
There
just sheath
you
them in other people's
go.
bodies, Marshall. You need an actual sheath for them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, leather belts, dice. Yeah, shit.
Hell yeah.
Let us just save that bookmark for later. Gonzo, do you want to talk about other movies?
No,
Or
we
you
can
wanna
hold on
talk
to it. We can hold on because we're actually over a bit. I can hold
Yeah.
off for the other one because they're not anything that had to be crazy talked about.
2 weeks, everyone. I will be off next week, but when I get back, we're talking about Loki. Spoilers everywhere.
Yes,
You've been warned.
not next week. The week after, we are doing full Lokis.
I have a week to watch Loki. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you have technically 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Because you have all this week and all of next week.
Because next week I've got to find a special guest. Dang
Yeah, because I'm gonna. Sorry, so it's summer, and my uncle, who I'm going to see, lives on Kent Island, which is sort of towards the beach. So traffic on the way back is going to be fuck awful, and
Yeah.
I don't want to have to leave at like 5 p.m. or 30 p.m. to make the hour drive that's going to take me 2.5, 3 hours to get home in time to stream. So.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Nobody expects you to. We just I gotta find out some cool co-hosts to come on the air. I don't know.
Do we
I'll
know
figure
any
out
cool people?
No, I don't know anybody cool.
Hey, Cookie.
So well, let's
I'm
figure it out.
John.
So guys, we appreciate you all coming out. We appreciate y'all listening. We appreciate everybody. Go, get with us. We'll do it. We'll talk about some stuff. Send us get us together in a Facebook chat, Kathy, if you can, and we'll get everything going. Guys, please take care of yourself. Please watch out for each other. Make sure you get the vaccine. I mean, check on each other a lot. Make sure everybody's okay. We all do it to each other all the time. Like, hey, guy, you good? Yeah, you good? You good? All right, everybody's good. All right, type thing. So, other than that, we're going to be sending y'all off to Mobolts. He's doing MechWarrior Online. And so you can watch some MechWarrior Online.
Watch someone good play, rather than me.
So, stick around for that. Make sure you go over there, hit a good like and a good follow for him. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Kathy.
Good night.
Good night.
Here we go. Hit that raid button. 5, 4,
Here we
3,
go.
2, 1, and raid.